Together, we are genius.
Before joining Genius, I had some pre-joining anxiety and nerves, the standard ones, as in, will I fit in? Have I made the right decision? Is it right culturally for me? But I also had some additional pre-joining nerves around whether I'd fit in as a gay man, and particularly as it's a sports-focused business and quite male-dominated. I was pleasantly surprised. It's an inclusive culture, and I felt that I belonged to this culture and part of the business since day one. But I think it's really important, if you are a line manager or a leader, to be mindful of this when managing your teams, particularly as we nurture and foster a diverse workforce. But also when you're a hiring manager, really important to be mindful that you need to be thinking about things from a D&I perspective when you are hiring.
Before joining Genius, I was nervous because at the time I had a 2-year-old daughter, and I was very concerned about how flexible Genius would be. You see a lot of tech companies where people are working extremely long hours, and I wanted to spend time with my family. Since my time at Genius, I've had another child, so now I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I've found it to be very flexible. There's a very supportive Genius parents community, and in particular a Genius mums community.
When I was about to join Genius, my top worry was about being too young. I was nervous about where I would be welcomed and taken seriously because of my age. Also, I felt unsure about my limited experience. These concerns made me anxious about fitting in and contribute effectively. However, after more than a year in the company, I realized that my unique perspectives and experience were valued. I received a lot of support from my colleagues, and this helped me feel more confident and included in the team.
When I joined Genius, I had to move from my hometown, so this meant new work, new challenges, new people, and even a new city for me. I was afraid I was not going to be welcomed and that I would feel as an outsider. Turns out, this fear is not my reality. I was received with open arms, found new friends that turned into family, and I'm part of a supporting team and a place that helps me through the journey.
When I joined Genius, I transitioned from what was previously more of a remote working environment. And I was anxious about joining a new team. And I wondered if I would fit in as an Asian American and if our values would align. My immediate team was scattered across different locations, and I was to be the one based in New York. And this made me question, who would I spend time with? Who would I get to know? And from day one, I was fortunate enough to have met some really incredible people. They welcomed me, introduced me to others, took me out to eat, and offered help in any way they could, regardless of what team we were on. And this made me feel like I truly found a home and a place where I belong, and I hope to continue helping others feel the same way.
Before joining Genius Sports, I was worried that people might think I'm a little bit younger than what I am, and I thought that might compromise my confidence when it came into group discussions especially. I'm pleased to say that since joining here, it's not felt like that at all. There's a lot of younger people, and I don't feel like it's impacted my confidence and ability to get my point across at all.
So when I first joined Genius Sports, it was a much more male-dominated environment, and as a young woman, that was quite intimidating to walk into. Fortunately, everyone here is very welcoming. It's a great environment to work in, and I've actually ended up with a lot of male friends that work in the company. Over the 8.5 years that I've been here, it's been really nice to see the increase in female roles within the company, from junior staff to senior staff. Really excited to continue to see the company grow and continue on our D&I journey.
Before I joined Genius, I was actually on mat leave, and I was terrified of being interviewed and having to explain the gap in my resume. Luckily, the talent lead that interviewed me was nothing short of fantastic. So I decided to be upfront and honest about it. I got hired, and on the first week of joining, I was actually added to a group chat called Genius Mums. I knew right then and there that I was in the right place. When we say we care about work-life balance, we actually mean it.
Cuando entré a Genius, mi mayor miedo era que todos sabían hablar inglés. Sin embargo, me he esforzado, he estado en reuniones, las he comprendido y sigo trabajando en mejorar mi nivel de inglés.
When I was about to begin my journey at Genius Sports, I was wondering whether my disability won't get in my way. Usually I need some time to set up my workstation, so I was thinking whether my colleagues will be patient enough with me. But thankfully they were, and since then we created a great working environment together.
So before joining Genius, the thing that I was most worried about, I guess, was I what they wanted. From the outside, it seemed to be quite a male-dominated environment. It operated within the realm of sports and betting technology, which didn't necessarily appear to be a space that a female would belong and thrive and contribute. So I think those are my main concerns before I joined. Another time that I felt particularly anxious was when I returned to work after having been on maternity leave for a year. And I was a very different person coming back. And again, I worried, would I still have a place in the company? Would I still have a place in the team? Would I still be valued? Would I still feel a part of things? And again, if anything, I have continued to thrive. My career has developed, and I was given the freedom to be able to be a mum, a manager, a colleague, an employee, and I can only say that I've thrived as a result of it.
So when starting a new role, pre-joining nerves are quite normal. But in my case, I wonder if I will be accepted as a Latin queer person. Will I be taken seriously? Will people be able to look past their initial impressions of me? These questions weigh heavily because it's not just about fitting into a new job. It's about fitting into a new community, navigating unspoken norms, and overcoming stereotypes. I have been part of Genius Sports for 6 years now, and I have realized that those pre-joining nerves are not just about anxiety, they're about courage. The courage to embrace who I am fully and unapologetically, despite challenges. The courage to educate and inspire change wherever I go. To be a catalyst for creating an inclusive environment where everyone can thrive regardless of their background or identity. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about fitting in, it's about belonging. And Genius gave me the chance to carve out my place, proudly and confidently.
Am I going to be accepted as a woman in a male-dominated industry? When I was joining Genius Sport, I was wondering if I was going to be enough or if I will have to work harder to prove myself. But since day one, all my fears fade away. Knowing my team and the company culture, I stand here with confidence, knowing that Genius Sports respects and values me as it does with each one of us.
So my challenge has always been my English proficiency. English is our second language and it's not commonly spoken in our country. So I was afraid to speak in meetings for fear of making mistakes or not being able to explain what I want to say or not understanding others. And however, my team was really helpful and appreciated in my effort to speak the language. So with time, practice on making mistakes, and I gain more confidence every day.
Before starting, I was quite struggling due to my condition as I have ADHD. I was quite concerned to not be able to fit in a corporate world, and it's such a fast-paced environment as the sport industry. I'm really confident right now in the job that I do, and although it's still fast-paced and I'm still quite struggling sometimes with few tasks, I really had a great help from my team and my manager. I really enjoy working here at Genius, and I'm really happy to be part of this company as they're very inclusive and very accepting.